We are pleased to have with us Bruce Hamilton from the Greater Boston Manufacturing Partnership. Welcome, Bruce.
Thank you, Tim. Nice to be here today.
Yeah, well, previously in the show, we were talking about the four sectors of the economy, or the four largest sectors of the economy here in central Massachusetts, and it's healthcare, higher ed, the financial services, and fourth is manufacturing. And here in central Massachusetts, we have a strong manufacturing tradition, and many manufacturers right now doing work for nationally and internationally known companies. That's kind of groundbreaking lean manufacturing, and you're part of a group, the Greater Boston Manufacturing Partnership, that's going to be doing an event here in Worcester.
Yeah, you know, the DCU is a great spot for an event because it's at a crossroads. We're a regional organization. This is a regional conference, and we get 600 to 700 people, maybe 150 companies. But because it's a regional event, we'll get not only CEOs, presidents, and managers, which typically are the folks who go to conferences, but we'll get folks from the shop floor and the front line. And incidentally, in the last several years, there's been a great attendance from healthcare as well. Manufacturers probably represent 80% of the attendees at the conference, but we actually have a track for healthcare because, as you noted, it is such a significant part of the Massachusetts economy, and for manufacturers, it's also probably their most significant expense.
And the event is the Northeast Lean Conference, and Lean is an acronym?
Lean, well, Lean is it's a word which was coined about 20 years ago to replace Toyota Production System, because at the time, I think auto manufacturers wanted to follow the method, but they hated having the name Toyota in it, so they asked, could you please call it Lean? But it's really about two things. One of them is getting everybody involved. Slogan of our organization is everybody, every day, to solve problems, and then giving them the tools to do it. You know, most organizations live for long periods of time without ever looking at their processes, and they tend to degrade, and it hurts their productivity, and it also hurts morale because people are living with conditions that actually aren't working for them or the customer. So our mission is to help organizations, as I said, mainly in manufacturing, but also in healthcare and more recently in service. Insurance is also a big industry. And we'll have folks from all of those industries at our conference on the 4th and 5th.
Right, and you know, having had a chance to visit one of your member companies in my previous role, learning a little about what was previously known as the Toyota piece, and ironically, and it's great to see, so many American manufacturers have learned from that process and are now competing and beating the Chinese or even the other manufacturers in the auto industry. But I understand it's how do you reduce steps in a process? Lean being more efficient, being smarter, right?
Easier, better, faster, and cheaper. That's what we say.
Yeah.
Easier is a really important one because folks are, we all have difficulty with change, but if change is going to make the job easier, that we tend to buy into that. And yeah, Massachusetts manufacturers and this whole region has a really good and vibrant community. Companies are making changes here that are keeping industry here.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, that's why we're in business. So we love to see that. We love to see the human development that goes on within the organizations. And the conference is really a way. It's informational, it's inspirational, and it's a celebration. We actually have, at the opening of the conference, we have, and you'd have to know a little bit about our organization to understand the meaning of the Silver Toaster Award, but it's an award which is coveted, and it's for frontline employees only. They receive nominations from their organizations, and they're evaluated, and there's one recipient of the Silver Toaster. I think the year that you spoke at the conference, you might have seen the Silver Toaster, and it's touching because oftentimes folks on the front line, they're not recognized, so that's just a small part of it, but it's great.
And Bruce, the timing of the conference couldn't be better. The Northeast Lean Conference is October 4th and 5th at the DCU. It's the 12th annual, but October is also National Manufacturing Day.
The whole month really we celebrate, but yeah, and I think it's really important in the Northeast for us to recognize that manufacturing is really strong up here. We tend to think that, oh, well, we're just an incubator state and we send our industry elsewhere, but this is not the case. We actually have an event at a world-class organization, just an excellent organization, right down the road in Charlton, immediately following the conference. Carl Stewart's End Division is a wonderful, wonderful manufacturer that's embraced these principles So we'll have a 2-day workshop, which is not actually part of the conference, but a lot of the folks from the conference are going to that as
Yeah,
well.
and Karl Storz, it's a German company. They operate in, I think, about a dozen different places, but they picked Central Massachusetts and Charlton to have one of their facilities, and taking advantage of the workforce, but also the technology that they have.
Yeah, it ended up here because of the glass technology, okay, but also the workforce is just great.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, and good stuff. And so, if there's a manufacturer out there, people who are interested, how do they want to, if they want to attend, look at the program? How do they get in touch with you, Bruce?
So certainly you can find us on the web. You could just Google GBMP, you'd get to our website, but also northeastleanconference.org gets you there. It's a great economical conference for smaller organizations in particular. We offer a split so that they can buy one attendance and send a couple of employees from one day and a couple on another, because a lot of the manufacturers in Massachusetts, they're small, you know, and they can't really afford to be spending 2 days at a conference. So northeastleanconference.org, that's how you find us, and looking forward to it. I'm excited.
And great to partner with you. Our chamber, along with our partner affiliates in the 35 cities and towns in Central Mass, who are many of our manufacturing members, fit the profile you just described, smaller manufacturers. You know, we're every day trying to, advocate for them, workforce pipeline, public policy, because they provide real good jobs. And as we know, 300,000 people in manufacturing in Massachusetts, many of them are going to be retiring, and their career opportunities coming up.
Indeed, and this is especially, that's a very important point, because the labor force, it's hard to find people right now. So increasing the productivity of the people that we got is really important.